Hey, by the way, I don't see it in the rundown, but we've got at least two different wagers. I'm losing track of these
I'm going to
friendly
lose one.
wagers on which dinner is riding. You're going to lose the Aaron Donald wager.
Yeah, that's a loss. Sunk cost. Okay, whatever you
And
name it. That's dinner. That's the dinner one.
3 weeks and 1 day ago, the Rams were ready. Just a matter of time. Now he's still got to decide to do it, but the decision's coming. Sean McVay said yesterday everything's up in the air. Yeah, it's up in the air because they're going to be up in the air to Australia before too long, and I don't think he's going to be on the plane. And if he is on the plane, and I doubt he would want to go if he's not going to play because they're going in Wednesday and leaving Friday. Why the hell do you want to make a trip that is all plane? I used to have a rule. I would only drive somewhere if my time spent there matched or exceeded the amount of time it took to go back and forth. So if I had to drive somewhere and it took 4 hours to get there, I was at least staying 8 hours there before the 4-hour drive home. So if I got to fly, what is it, 15 hours? What is the trip? It's some ridiculously long trip. Like, I'm staying there. I'm not getting back on that damn plane until I've stayed there at least as long as both ways of the trip. So I don't see him going to Australia. I think at best he's going to be on the PUP list. He's going to continue working out, and then they'll make a decision at some point. But, yeah, that one's up in the air. And
No,
I said week 5,
one.
I think. You said week 1. Yeah.
I said week 1. So even if it's week 2, like you got it, I probably should have. In retrospect, I probably should have, inched it up to week 3 or something and give myself some wiggle room, but it's not going to happen. Unless Aaron Donald has always wanted to go to Australia, Mike, if that is on his list, one of the countries he's wanted to visit, one of the places he's wanted to see, that's the only way I win the bet.
But he presumably wants to see it for more than 2 days. He's got the money to go whenever he wants to go, and he's been retired for multiple years. He could go spend a month there. They're spending a day there. I look at it this way, and I think one of the key questions that needs to be asked and can only be answered by Aaron Donald: why are you coming back? And I think the Rams have been sensitive to that. Why are you doing it? Are you chasing a ring? Do you have a truly burning desire to play football again that has been reawakened by the notion that you're going to get to play next to one of the all-time greats and join forces with Myles Garrett? Do you want to come back just because you want to see what it feels like to not be double and triple teamed on every play? Like, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And if he's not already back, number one, he's not coming back for the love of the game and he wants to be fully involved and immersed in a full season. Or he's just not physically ready yet. And I submit that if this process started June 1, that if the flame flickered for him when they traded for Myles Garrett, June, July, August, if you're not ready after 3 months of intensive training, you're probably not going to be. So I don't know which way this is going to go. It felt inevitable that he was coming back, and I think the Rams believed it was inevitable he was coming back, and now nobody knows. And at some point, he's just got to make a decision. At some point, you're dragging this out too long. At some point, you're running the risk of behaving like a delicate genius who is currently waking up on a Friday morning about 100 miles from here in an undisclosed location in Pittsburgh, who has played these games in the past. Will I or won't I? What am I going to do? Aaron Donald's going to slip into that category if he doesn't give us a definitive answer at some point. I'd say by the end of September.
Do you think the Rams? Let me ask you this, because I have thoughts on why he wants to come back. Do you think the Rams already know? Do you think the Rams know what he wants to do and they're not sharing that with the public? But Les Snead knows, Sean McVay knows, Hell, Myles Garrett may even know. Do you think they know?
Well, I think that they've had a general plan that all hinges on Aaron Donald saying yes. And they've been waiting for him to say yes. And he's been kicking the can on the timetable for saying yes. Now, at this point, because they got to cut the rosters from 90 down to 53, and it doesn't matter. He's not on the roster. He's on the reserve retired list. He just stays on the reserve retired list. If there is a moment where he would like to be more actively involved with the team and present with the team and doing everything but officially practicing and playing, they could put him on the physically unable to perform list or the non-football injury/illness list. There was some chatter a week or so ago that that's how this is going to go, that he's going to end up on maybe the PUP list to start the season, or at some point whenever he decides to come back. But he stays on reserve retired until he comes back. And look, people are speculating on all sorts of things. Is this a contractual issue? I'd like to think they can fix the contractual issue fairly quickly. They can get to impasse or yes fairly quickly. They know what they're going to pay. They know what they have budgeted. See, that's the thing that people lose sight of. The salary cap is what it is, and you can create cap space if you need to. Your cash budget is a very different thing. You go into every year in March when free agency arrives with a cash budget that ownership has given you. And you don't necessarily allow for the possibility of one of your all-time franchise greats deciding to unretire, and he's going to want $30 million this year. And sorry, but we don't have it in the budget. That becomes an issue that they're going to have to navigate. But I don't even think they've gotten to that point. I think they're still waiting for him to say, I'm ready. And he has yet to say I'm ready. And at some point, the absence of saying I'm ready means he's not ready and he's never going to be ready.
Yeah, I think just with Aaron Donald coming back, I don't think he's ring chasing in the sense of, hey, we've got this super team and this is going to happen. I want to be a part of it. It's not like the NBA. You've got 5 guys who can affect this. And you have a super team in the NBA. Those guys those super teams that are constructed, they usually get to the NBA finals and they sometimes win it. Because it's just, there are fewer variables when you have fewer players. It's just common sense. And he's got his championship. I think for him, Mike, tell me if you agree. When Aaron Donald retired, even though we'd heard about it, that he was thinking about it right before they played the Bengals in the Super Bowl out in LA. When he retired, I was surprised because he was not done. He had so much more to give. He was still the best defensive tackle in football the day he retired. And so I think it was a matter of he needed a break that football doesn't give to people. He needed more than an offseason. I think he probably thought he needed a season. It turns out he needed a couple of seasons. I think he wants to come back because he's not done. He has something left to give. Or I'll say it this way, and this is going to sound ridiculous because it's Aaron Donald. He wants to come back because when he left, he had a lot more to give to the game. Now, as great as he is, 2 years away from football, that is a real challenge, even for somebody as great as he is. He may be the best defensive tackle I've ever seen. He may be. But 2 years is 2 years. So is he fighting this internal fight of his desire and his love for football versus, hey, when I come back, I've always been the best. What if I'm top 10? How will I deal with that? What if I'm top 15? I'm still really, really good, but I'm not the best at my position. But I think his desire to come back is based on his love for football.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.